Hi, it's Marie Camenares, and I'm here to talk to you about container gardens and container gardening. So, container gardens are just a wonderful addition to your backyard, even your home. In fact, in Europe, it's considered an art form. You'll see container gardens in balconies, and you'll see them on patios. They're a great source of interest and focal point, and if you have a small backyard, it's wonderful to complement that small backyard to make it seem larger with container gardens. And container gardening can be done in groups of containers. You can have different focal points. You can have it change throughout the season. If your backyard has a soil that doesn't complement what you want to grow, you can use the proper soil in your pot and you can grow the plants that you'd like in a container. Container gardening has endless opportunities for anyone to make their home and their yards look spectacular. You can use big pots, small pots, just about anything, as long as it has drainage holes in it. Now, if you have a pot that's not very attractive, but it does have drainage holes, you can also put that pot into what we call a cover pot without holes in it, and you can have your container garden look spectacular that way as well. So anything that has holes in it, anything that can provide drainage can be used for a container for your container garden. You can have a very unusual type of things. For example, you can use an old colander, maybe spray paint it a fun color and plant some herbs in there for a nice kitchen container garden. You can keep that outdoors close to your patio door, or if you have a sunny location in the house, why not try it for a kitchen container garden, and then you can access it when you're cooking. So also you can use container gardens for different types of plants. Now, for different types of plants, of course, you're going to need different types of soil. So, for example, if you're doing a container garden of cacti, you want a sandy soil. If you're doing a container garden with different types of orchid plants, you'd want to use some orchid bark. And if you're doing a container garden with regular house plants, you would use potting soil that's especially formulated for container gardens. And that kind of soil is a light, soilless mixture. You don't want to use soil straight from your garden for your container gardens because it can hold too much water, and it also can hold the possibility of bringing in insects and weeds and diseases for your plants. Your choice for a container can be amusing, classy, funny. It can be bold. It can have some kind of romance to it. If you did a romantic, like cement urn, you can even be very whimsical and maybe do a container garden in an old boot. And what they can do outdoors, your container garden can provide not only focal point, but it can also provide privacy. It can make a statement. It can block off areas to make garden rooms for your home. And it has a lot of uses for just different seasonal value. And by that I mean you can plant a whole bunch of different spring bulbs, and then in the summer change it for summer flowering plants, and then in the fall change it again for mums and ornamental cabbages. And in the winter, you can of course put beautiful evergreens in there. So you can do a variety of things with container gardens. Now, as I said before, you would need to use a vessel that has drainage holes in it. And if you have one that you really like and it doesn't have drainage holes and you can put the drainage holes in there, then that's great. Go ahead and do that. So here we have different varieties of containers. This is a plastic container. It's going to hold moisture from the soil pretty well. It does have drainage holes in it. And I can plant my plants in here, making bold statements of different colored flowers into this, and I can also pop this into something a little fancier if I'd like. Next I have a ceramic vessel, pot, that already has the little lip for the drainage attached to it. It does have drainage holes in it as well. And this coating, this glaze, will help protect the soil's moisture, and it also is really pretty. I have different colors of this that we will be doing a container garden, and I'll show you how pretty it looks when you group similar colors together, different shapes, similar colors. Next we have the regular terracotta pot. Terracotta is very good for planting cacti and also air plants and orchids because it breathes right through the pot. So what you have to be a little bit careful about is that the soil doesn't dry out completely too fast. So you can put any plant in a terracotta pot. You just have to be careful and mindful of the moisture in the soil. But it's a great pot for cacti, and of course there's the drainage hole right there. Next I'd like to show you a cover pot. This is a really pretty decorative pot. No drainage hole though, as you can see. So we are going to plant plants into another pot and then drop that pot into here for our accent. You wouldn't want to plant directly in here because the soil doesn't drain. Okay, so it's really like our cover pot, our cache pot. I have one more beautiful pot to show you. This is a glazed pot, but it's only glazed on the outside, so it's almost like the best of both worlds because it does protect the soil with a little bit of moisture, and yet there is also a little bit of aeration going on inside here because there is no glaze on the inside. This pot also has a drainage hole, and this will complement my other blue pot. So pretty. So I can't wait to show you that. Okay, as you can see, I've made my selection of plants here, and we're going for a succulent look. And we have the soil for cacti in here with enough room for planting and watering. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to be a grouping, so now I'm using this for my spiller, my thriller, and my filler. So I will put in my main focal plant first, just like that. And then I'll put in my filler. My thriller, excuse me, this is my thriller, my spiller. I'm getting all confused. Okay. That's my spiller. And now I'm putting in my filler. Just like this. Maybe we'll do a little bit more of a spiller on this side as well. Now I have lightly watered the soil. here we have our completed pot. There we go. Doesn't that look so pretty? Well, here we are. We're all done with our beautiful container garden of succulents. And I decided to just do the one and to put a different type of plant in my smaller container, and then I will group them together. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was an informative video. Stay healthy and stay safe. Bye for now.